Hey guys, it's me. I'm going to be doing a review of my Nintendo 64, and this is my favorite game console ever made, even more than the Xbox 360 or PS3 or whatever. And yeah, so let's get started. So here's the console. It has 4 controller ports, Nintendo 64, named for its 64-bit CPU, basic power switch, and a little red light will come on, reset. Let's reinsert your game cartridges, and this was the last console to be made with cartridges, which I prefer cartridges over CDs because CDs always break. Those are 10 years old. They work. I have 5-year-old games that CDs don't work. Anyways, it's 10 years old, still works. Very light, you can do whatever you want. You have your power supply. It is technically an external power supply, but really, since it's plugged into the system, it's not really external because you won't have to worry about it being in the way of anything. And I don't have it hooked up, but red light. This is your standard AV cables, audio video. This just plugs into the back here. Oh, sorry. And got your standard video cables. I have 2 controllers, which are, I think they're smoke purple or whatever. But, well, I mean, basically they're purple. So, what I like about this game is you have 4 controllers, so you don't need any type of multi-tap or anything like that. So, that's what I like about this game. Those are my 2 controllers. And this is really a great system. It's my favorite. I mean, what can you say? It was a legendary product. It sold 32.8 million consoles. There's an expansion, but I think that was only used for somewhere in Japan. And you have your front expansion, which I don't have an expansion, which sucks because this is my brother's system, so I just kind of got back into the Nintendo 64, and all I have is the jumper pack, which you're not supposed to remove. So let's not do that. But yeah, this is my favorite system. I mean, all the games are great. I have like all the classics that you could want. I don't have much games, but I have all the games that you should have. So, Super Smash Brothers, of course. I mean, come on, duke it out with your friends or whatever at your house. Awesome game. GoldenEye. Come on, what can you say about this game? I mean, it's the best first-person shooter on the Nintendo 64, along with Perfect Dark. It's amazing. It was a remarkable product for its time. It was ahead of its time. This game, the graphics are dated, but the gameplay is just awesome and with huge levels. So, very fun game too. Banjo-Tooie. I don't own the first one to this game, but still a very fun game. It's actually still warm because I was playing it like literally 5 minutes ago. Awesome game. I've never beaten it, but I'm working on that right now. So, good game. Mario Kart 64. Awesome racing game. Probably my favorite racing game for the Nintendo 64. I don't know. It's kind of head-to-head with Diddy Kong. Racing. But, great game, of course, because you'd get to be all your favorite characters. Mario, whatever. So, Diddy Kong 64, basically same concept, but as Mario Kart 64, but different characters. There's a lot of different power-ups and things you could do. You could fly in a plane or in a hovercraft. So, kind of more detailed, but at the same time, it's like you can't really beat Mario Kart, so still very good. Wave Race, gay. Don't buy that game. Conker's Bad Fur Day. Probably the best game made for Nintendo 64. I mean, it's hilarious. You're a squirrel, and at a point in the game, you have to defeat a shit monster. It's like, what kind of game do you not want that? It's like, it's one of the only M-rated games for the Nintendo 64. Pick that up if you don't have it. Scooby-Doo. Okay, well, there's nothing really to say about that game. I don't even know why we own that. Tarzan. This game's kind of fun if you're just kind of bored. It's okay. The gameplay's kind of dumb, but the graphics are kind of nice. Toy Story 2. This game is actually challenging. Seriously, it's harder than Call of Duty. I mean, well, games these days aren't challenging. That's why I play these old games, because they're actually difficult, but you know, still a fun game to play. Star Fox 64, another classic for Nintendo. One of my favorites. It's really short, but then again, there's like, you can change your paths in which you're going, so you can make it longer or make it shorter, you know. And of course, there's an expert difficulty, and it can get kind of hard on expert, so try that. Body Harvest. This is a fun game. You know, you're basically a guy who has to save civilians from aliens while killing the aliens, you know. So, that's a fun game. Mario and Sergeant Heroes 2. I don't own the first game, but I do have this one. Very fun. You know, you're the Green Army, and you have to defeat the Tan Army, so that's it. Well, guys, thank you. That was my review of the Nintendo 64, and I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, this thing is amazing. It's great, it's reliable, it's fun to this day. Some of these games don't even feel dated. Some of these games I'd rather play than today's games. So, if you don't own this console, you need to pick one up, because, you know, you just have to own it. So, thanks for watching my review, guys. I'll talk to you later.